Okay, Jai Sriram, Jai Hanuman to everybody who's listening to this katha. So this is a continuation of our last katha, which was on Ahiravana and the Patala Incident. And we now have realized what are the different time zones in which the Patal Loka, which is below us, and the Vyahriti Loka, which is above us. So there are 7 lokas, which are, ours is Bhuloka or Manav Loka. 7 lokas below us, which are called Patal Loka, which influence Bhuloka. And 7 lokas above us called Vyahriti Loka. So they say when Ganga Mata had to descend on earth, she descended across all the 7 Vyahriti Lokas on top and 7 Patal Lokas below, going through Manav Loka. So that was the power which was contained by Lord Shiva. Second half of this chapter contains the transcendental knowledge, the knowledge which takes us beyond the human mind. Therefore, devotees from the mainstream society, which is us, who are attached too much to their human minds, may find it difficult to grasp. Nevertheless, we have published it because Lord Hanuman has directed us to do so. Probably there are some Grihastha Sadhakas among the Setu's online community to whom this chapter must reach. So if you are all listening to this chapter, it means that you are all the Grihastha Sadhakas who are fortunate of coming and having the blessing of Lord Hanuman to listen to this. The first leg of Charan Puja, which was performed on behalf of Yajman Basanta, our gratitude to Yajman Basanta, was completed. Yajman Basanta offered Arpanam in the form of a basket of fruits and received Prasadam in the form of knowledge of Patal Loka. His hidden wish was to get gemstones of his family back, but that wish could not be fulfilled in the first leg. So we all have heard about this incident about how Basanta's father had passed away without those gemstones, which happened during the accident, the big air crash that happened in Lanka back in 1974. Lord Hanuman had stood up from his asana. All the Mathans present in the Hanumandal also stood up with their palms joined and heads bowed. Before the assembly broke, Potar Urva asked Lord Hanuman very importantly, "O Lord, if the gemstones are in the seabed, how can they be brought back? It seems impossible, firstly, to go in the depth of the ocean, and secondly, to find the small gemstones in such depths." Baba Mathan was not pleased with the behavior of Potar Urva. Let us express our gratitude to Baba Mathan and to Urva. He gave Urva an angry look, then bowed to Lord Hanuman and said, "O Lord, forgive him. He is young and ignorant. He doesn't know that once prasadam has been received by Yajman, assembly must break. I beg your apologies." Lord Hanuman smiled and looked first at Urva and then at Baba Mathan. He then walked over the holy water reservoir in front of his asana and disappeared. Baba Mathan started the concluding ritual. Yajman Basanta blew off the lamps placed on the periphery of the Hanumandal one by one as Baba Mathan watched. Then the god of fire was seen off from the altar in the center of the Hanumandal. Urva tried to help Baba Mathan in completing these rituals, but Baba angrily refused to involve him. Finally, when the assembly broke and Mathans started walking towards their homes, Urva tried to speak to Baba to explain his point of view. Baba did not give him an opportunity to speak. Later, when the Mathans were having breakfast, Urva sat near Baba Mathan and attempted to speak. Baba Mathan thundered, "If Basanta himself did not ask gemstones, who are you to express a wish on his behalf?" That too, when Lord Hanuman had stood up from his asana. "You have gone too far, Urva. I will not appoint you Hotar anymore. Urni shall be the Hotar there hereafter." Urva tried to speak. "Baba, I just wanted to what?" Baba Mathan thundered again. You think the Charan Puja shall proceed as per your wants? I just want it means what? If your want is so superior that you shall defy the procedures laid down by our ancestors through the centuries, Urva broke down. He picked up his plate of breakfast, stood up sobbing, and dashed away from there. Urmi was also sitting. See, this goes to show that they are also experiencing emotions to such a strong extent. So we are also thinking about being in awareness of all our emotions, right? But it is not that, I mean, even the wisest of the wise, which are from the Mathan tribes, are also undergoing these kind of emotions, these kind of emotional upheavals, which are not contained by them. So, Urmi was also sitting near Baba Matham. She witnessed everything silently. Our gratitude to Urmi. Baba said to Urmi, I also think that the lost lost gemstones must come back to Basanta's family so that his father's soul can liberate. But we are human beings. What we think is right may not be right. Didn't you see Urmi? Out of a huge pile of fruits brought by Basanta, only a small piece of banana was sacred enough to be offered to the Lord. That showed how much Basanta was under the influence of Suras and Asuras. Then how can we be so sure that our wish of getting the gemstones back is actually our wish? It could well be induced in us by Suras and Asuras. And it's not only Basanta. I am afraid that we have come under huge influence of Suras and Asuras in the last 41 years. We feel that we are pure, but that feeling of pureness can be induced by Asuras too. So I was talking to you about Kapatasura, right? Kapatasura is one of the most prominent Asuras in this Kali Yuga. He makes us believe that we are on the right path. He makes us believe that we are righteous in our actions. So many a times when you have any kind of arguments with in your office or in your family, many a times we think we are right because we are righteous, we are justified in thinking that we are right. But that may not be the case because Kapatasura might have hijacked our body. So I keep telling this in all our sessions. Let us stay away from two things. Dimag ki khurafat and bekar ka behas. Dimag ki khurafat is unnecessarily intellectualizing a lot of concepts, and bekar ka behas is something that we keep getting into with a lot of our friends, family members and everyone. It is going to lead us nowhere. Debate can be very constructive if we are able to express our point of view without any emotions and get out of there. Do it scientifically, put forth your views, and if the other person is not in the mindset to receive it, then walk away from there. Because usually we see that debates and discussions get emotional. So just a small thing that I would like to deviate from. In the olden times, when debates used to happen, at the time of Sri Shankaracharya, he debated with a very famous Pandit, I'm forgetting his name. So when the debate used to take place, they would actually have a flower garland. And if, during the debate, if anybody would get heated, right, his body heat would rise and the flowers would wilt. So that is how you would know that, okay, he has become emotional in the debate because his body heat would increase, his metabolism, his heart rate would increase. So that's why the debaters would always wear a garland around their neck. When I think that Lord Hanuman was hinting towards me when he told me about Bhishma of Mahabharata. Yes, Bhishma thought that he was very righteous, but actually he was under the huge influence of Asuras. If you actually see Mahabharata, the main character who induced the entire war of Mahabharata was Bhishma. That's why in many of these chapters in the stories we get to know that they say that the main culprit, Bhishma, deserved the death he got because he was the main culprit of Mahabharata. Baba Mathang was So do not worry, Baba Mathan, you are not under the influence of Suras and Asuras. It was the voice of Lord Hanuman. He was sitting where Urmi was sitting just a moment ago. Baba Mathan was pleasantly stunned to see Lord Hanuman having breakfast with him. He did not know what to do and what to say. Attempting to fold his hands in veneration, he mumbled, Lord Hanuman further said, and you keep yourself under constant observation. It signifies that you are completely pure. You have fulfilled your responsibilities as Baba very well so far, and Urva did nothing wrong. The question raised by him is bubbling in the minds of all the seeker Mathans right now. I know when to plant a question in a seeker's mind and when to answer them. And as far as the rituals are concerned, being protector of the Mathan tradition, your anger is justified. Because of your anger, now he is deeply thinking why that particular ritual is in place and why it should not be broken. Baba felt relieved to hear those words. He turned up his head to get a glimpse of the Lord again, but Lord Hanuman had disappeared from there. Baba saw Urmi at that place having her breakfast. After some time, the next leg of Charan Puja started. This time the Yajman was Charita, a Mathan woman. Let us go in gratitude to Charita. Urmi was appointed as voter. Before the ritual of Arpanam could start, Yajman's soul required to be enlightened by Lord Hanuman's words. The Lord Hanuman spoke. In the last leg of Charan Puja, Urva had asked a question. Gemstones are deep in the seabed. How is it possible to retrieve them from there? Urva's question reminds me of Nala, the Vanara who built the bridge over the sea. When Lord Rama decided to wage a war on Ravana, millions of Vanaras gathered to form an army. Lanka was situated across the sea. It was a big challenge to transport such a huge army of Vanaras across the sea. Lord Rama called a meeting of army commanders and asked their suggestions. Sugriva said, My lord, we cannot land the entire army in Lanka. On the outskirts of Lanka, there is not much space to camp our army of millions of Vanaras. There will be scarcity of food and other necessities on the land of the enemy. Therefore, we should proceed with only half the army. Look at the kind of the army strategy, the warfare strategy that is happening right now, right? So it is such a big concern because Vanaras cannot fight on boats. So otherwise, what will happen? These guys Rakshasas can attack them and sink their boats. So the Vanaras cannot be in this thing either. Where if once you say that the war has begun, then Ravana has a huge navy. He'll come with that navy and he'll bombard from there itself and he will bomb out all the Vanaras in this land. So there is a huge problem, right? How do you fight? How do you take the Vanaras from Bharata to Lanka? So therefore, we shall proceed with only half of army. Rest half can stay this side and rush for enforcement if the war goes on for a long time. We have huge workforce here. They can build the required number of boats very fast. Lakshmana inquired, what if we get attacked by sea monsters on the way? Our army is not skilled enough to fight dangers of the sea. I assured Lakshmana that if Lord Rama permits me, I can fight the sea monsters single-handedly to save our army. Lord Hanuman says this. Therefore, there was no need to worry about the dangers of the sea. Angada said, I suspect that Ravana has a battalion of army which is skilled in sea warfare. What if he sends that battalion to finish our army in the sea itself? Lord Rama said, the war has not been declared yet. No warrior can attack without declaring war first. Lakshmana remarked, Ravana is under the influence of Asuras. I don't think he will follow the rule book of Kshatriyas, which is also true that we have learned, right? Lord Rama said, Lakshmana, I know Ravana is under the influence of Asuras, but he is extremely egoistic about his army power. He would not do this cowardice act. Sugriva realized a mistake in his plan. He said, Prabhu, we can take one half of our army to Lanka in boats without any problem. But if we require another half of the army, we won't be able to call them later. Because once the war is declared, Ravana will be free to attack our army in the sea itself. He will send his battalion of sea warriors and finish another half of our army while they try to cross the sea. Exactly, Angada opined. Our army needs land under their feet to fight anything significantly. They do not know how to fight in boats. Lord Rama said, what if we build a bridge across the sea? Bridge is as good as land. There won't be any problem in getting reinforcement via the bridge, right? Everyone present in the meeting gave a surprised look. Bridge across the sea, Sugriva said. I am afraid that is impossible, my lord. Nala can do it, Lord Hanuman said. Nala? Yes, there is a skilled Vanara called Nala who can build bridges. But how do you know him, my lord? Sugriva exclaimed. That was an odd question, Lord. That was an odd question. Lord Ram, the Supreme Lord, knows all. How can he not know anyone? I intervened and said, why don't we call Nala and ask him whether he can build the bridge? Sugriva replied promptly, he can build the bridge from one tree to another. He cannot build the bridge across the sea. It is impossible. I knew that nothing is impossible for Lord Rama. So I insisted, let us call Nala here and ask him. Angada went out to call Nala. When Angada entered in the meeting room again, he was with Nala. Nala was very surprised that Lord Rama knew him and had specifically called him for the meeting out of millions of Vanaras. Angada spoke on his behalf. Lord, I asked Nala. He says he cannot build a bridge in the water. Lord Rama smiled at Nala and asked, Nala, every creative person is a form of Vishwakarma. If you can create a bridge between two trees, you can build a bridge between here and Lanka as well. Can't you? Nala was numb. But he immediately replied as if the words burst out of his lips. Suddenly, yes, I can. Everyone looked at Nala. Confidence of Nala vanished and he seemed uncertain. Lord Rama looked in his eyes. The magic happened again. And he spoke loudly, addressing the assembly of commanders. Yes, I can build the bridge across the sea. I shall survey the sea right away. Then I will prepare the design. Lord Rama directed me to accompany Nala for the survey of the sea. I left the meeting room along with Nala. I noticed he was trembling and murmuring, yes, the bridge can be built. Yes, I shall build the bridge. His confidence had again gone down. He was trying to reassure himself. We took a boat, a few ropes and sticks and went into the sea. Nala started measuring the depth of the sea at different places. The sea was very deep everywhere. Nala was disappointed. He gave up and said, it is impossible to build a bridge in this sea. Then why did you say yes to Lord Ram? I asked. Nala replied, I did not know what happened to me. When Lord Rama looked at me, I felt that I am Vishwakarma and I can create everything. But as soon as I came out of the meeting, I again felt like I am just an ordinary monkey. I said to him, oh Nala, if Lord Rama believes in you, there is nothing special about you. There is something special about you. No matter how deep the water is, you can build the bridge. But how? Nala said helplessly. How should I say? It is simply impossible. I cannot make even a single pillar stand in the deep water. We were sailing the boat in the middle of the sea. Nala was feeling scared of the responsibility at hand. He requested me to suggest a solution. I told him to close his eyes and chant the name of Lord Rama. He closed his eyes and started chanting the name of Lord Rama. I could see the glow on his face. I said, oh, the soul who is chanting the name of Lord Rama, who are you? Do introduce yourself. With his eyes closed, Nala replied, I am Nala, a form of Vishwakarma. I can see myself digging the base of the sea. I can see myself tearing apart the sea. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I will do that. I saw the glimpse of Vishwakarma on the face of Nala. I asked him to open his eyes. When he opened his eyes, he saw something unusual. He shouted, "Balls of fire! Balls of fire!" I turned back and saw that Nala was nodding towards a huge crocodile a few meters away from our boat. Holding my grip on my mace, I asked, "Balls of fire?" "No, that is just a crocodile." But there was something unusual about the crocodile. His eyes were looking like balls of fire, and he was looking right towards me. Nala asserted, "It must have been a trick of light, nothing else." I comforted Nala, but actually that crocodile was looking suspicious to me too. A normal crocodile would have come to attack us, but when we looked towards the creature, it turned away. Nala said, "Don't know why, I feel that the crocodile is a spy of Ravana. Shouldn't we chase it and find out?" "No," I said. "There are so many creatures like this in the sea. We have to concentrate only on our work. I would attack these creatures only if they tried to harm us." "The work," Nala said. "The work in hand is an impossible task. I have no idea where should I start." "But a few moments ago, your face was glowing with godly powers. I got a glimpse of Vishwakarma on your face when you were chanting the name of the Lord Rama." I told. Nala said jokingly, "The bridge can be built only if rocks start floating in the sea." I said seriously, "Anything is possible if Lord Rama desires so. If Lord Rama thinks that you can build the bridge, then just go and relax. Tomorrow morning, chant his name and start throwing rocks in the sea. They will float if so is the desire of the Lord." Nala was not fully convinced, but he had no other option. I asked him to stop surveying. I took him far into the sea and showed him various creatures. He watched the sea with childlike enthusiasm and forgot about the bridge. When we returned back into our camp late in the evening, Angada and Sugriva asked whether the surveying had been completed. Nala had no answer. I replied on his behalf, "Yes, the surveying is complete. Nala can start the construction from tomorrow." I saw Lord Ram smiling at me. He knew the truth that all this while we were not measuring the sea, but watching the creatures of the sea and enjoying the boat ride, and that we had got nothing figured out as far as how the bridge will be constructed. Next morning, everyone's eyes were on Nala. All the commanders of our army had gathered on the beach. Nala was walking on the beach seriously as if he was measuring the sea with his eyes. Just to tease him, I asked, "Oh, the great Nala, where should we start the construction? Please guide us so that we can gather the required material at that point." Nala was apparently very nervous and his lips were moving. He was slowly chanting Lord Rama's name. When I teased him, he looked towards me and increasing his volume of chanting, he started saying, "Rama, Rama, Rama, Rama." Angada and Sugriva looked towards me curiously. I immediately said, "Oh yes, Ram, 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 Ram." Nala means to say that Lord Ram will tell where to start the bridge. Fortunately, Lord Rama arrived there with Lakshmana and said, "Yes, please come with me. We will do a puja first and then Nala will start the construction." It seemed Lord Rama already knew the point where the bridge construction had to be started. He took us there and started a puja. Nala was still very nervous, but I was certain that everything was going to be alright. Look at that unflinching faith that Lord Hanuman has on Lord Rama. So they say that there is this one Tulsidas ji's katha in which he says, how does Lord Shiva pray to Lord Rama? He says, "Mujhe achal bhakti de Prabhu." Achal bhakti is unflinching. Achal, kitni bhi kathinayi ho, immovable, unflinching faith. He keeps asking Lord Rama, oh Lord Shiva. He's not asking for himself. He is indicating to all the other devotees of Lord Rama that if you are praying to Lord Rama, then what should you be asking for? Don't ask him for materialistic things, because this character its destiny is already written. We will, from birth to death, this is already written. Where we have to go, what are the things we have to experience, what are the circumstances that we will experience, what emotions we will experience, all that is already there. So don't ask for anything else, but ask for achal bhakti, unflinching faith. That will move mountains. It seemed Lord, so when the puja was over, the focus came back to Nala. His nervousness flew away, and again the godly powers manifested through him when Lord Rama looked into his eyes. Nala pointed his hand towards the sea and roared, "Let us place the first stone right at the heart of the mighty sea here. Jai Sriram." I repeated after him, Jai Sriram, and threw a stone right in the direction of his hand. To my extreme surprise and excitement of one and all present there, the stone thrown by me did not sink in the sea. When Nala's out of the world excitement wore out, a pleasant surprise engulfed his mind. He did not utter a word, but his eyes were asking me, how did this miracle happen? How did the laws of this world change? How did the stone float in the sea? One thing was certain to me, no act of Lord Rama would ever violate the laws of this world. If stones do not float in water for the rest of the world, Lord Rama would never make them float just for himself. Our entire army started chanting Lord Rama's name loudly when Angad made the announcement that the stone thrown in the sea was floating by the grace of Lord Rama and the skills of Nala. Nala became an instant hero of the entire monkey race. Nala wanted to know the secret behind the floating stone. I said to Lord Rama, Lord, I need your permission to go into the sea and take some measurements. Can I go with Sri Hanuman? After taking Lord Rama's permission, we took a boat and went to the place where the stone was floating. To our huge surprise, we found that the stone was not floating in water. Instead, it was placed on a ridge. Nala exclaimed, I cannot believe my eyes. How did this ridge come up here yesterday? There was deep water here. What miracle? Overnight. How? I had no explanation. I simply said, such is the power of Lord Ram's name. Nala closed his eyes and chanted Lord Ram's name loudly. I sailed the boat to find out how long the ridge was. We found out that the ridge was, the ridge or the bridge was formed fully across the sea. The only work left to be done was to bridge the gaps here and there to make the surface even. Nala was a master of abridging small gaps. In the next couple of days, with the help of a huge workforce of Nala, a workforce of Vanaras, Nala turned the ridge into a smooth bridge. Nala was not comfortable with the sudden popularity he had got among the millions of Vanaras. He felt that he didn't deserve it because he believed that the ridge had come up by itself by the powers of Lord Rama. When the bridge was completed, Lord Rama told him, Nala, the ridge came out of earth because of you. Right now, I cannot tell you how this happened, but I shall definitely tell you after the war is over. To honor Nala, Lord Rama named the bridge as Ramsetu. When the war was over, Nala asked Lord Rama about the secret of the ridge. Can you guess, O wise Mathangs, what was the secret? Lord Hanuman asked the assembly of Mathangs. Urva was sitting silently. Lord Hanuman looked at him and said, Urva's question reminded me of Nala. Yesterday he had asked the question, right? That the gemstones are in the depth of the sea. How can it be brought back? Nala was saying that it was impossible to build the bridge in the sea. And Urva was saying that it is impossible to bring the gemstones from the seabed. I am not saying that some kind of ridge will pop up in the sea and the gemstones will come up. I am simply saying that nothing is impossible. Urva didn't speak anything. Urmi was the voter of the puja. She got up and asked, "Oh Lord, we are eager to know the secret. How did the ridge come up in the sea overnight? Please bless us with the supreme knowledge and help us know the secret. We cannot guess." Lord Hanuman said, "I am going to tell the secret to you now. Pay attention to each word of mine. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand it at all. When we are in open air, we live comfortably, but when we get into water, we feel uneasy. The opposite is true for fishes. When a fish is in water, it feels comfortable, but when it is in open air, it feels uneasy. Imagine a fish into deep water. Can you imagine the world of fish from the perspective of fish?" Lord Hanuman asked. Hotar Urmi, who is experienced in changing bodies, replied quickly, "Just like air is invisible for us, water is invisible for a fish. So I think a fish feels like a bird when it is inside the water. She feels open space around her and she travels in that open space." "Good," Lord Hanuman said. "Do you all get what Urmi said? Can you imagine the world of fish? It is exactly opposite to our world. When for her, water is gas and air is liquid. When she is in water, she feels open space around her. And when she is in air, she feels something liquid around which she suffocates." Setu's note: we human beings have the tendency to study and explain everything from our perspective. Here, you are required to leave your perspective. Sadhakas practice it every day. We are not sure if devotees of mainstream society will be able to do it. If you have understood this chapter so far, you are a Grihastha Sadhaka. I keep telling you this, that we enter into a lot of arguments, debates with our colleagues, friends, family members, close ones, near and dear ones, on the road itself. Somebody cuts us and we enter into an argument with them. So, as sadhakas, what this is asking us to do is to leave your perspective behind and see it from the other person's perspective. Literally means it is a small step in disassociating yourself from this character that you are all individually playing and step into the shoes of the other character. They say, right, walk a mile in my shoes. So literally this is what it means, that you start understanding it from their perspective and say that yes, it must be from their perspective, what they are doing, what they are saying is right. And why should I argue for that? I will walk away, it's okay. Whatever we present in terms of an argument should be presented without any emotions. This holds true for me as well. I am also practicing it. Many a times I also lose my cool, I also lose my awareness, but then the awareness comes back after I have said it. So I am now in the process of doing it at the peak of my emotions, and I say, okay, I bring that awareness into myself and I am saying, oh, why am I doing it? Right? At the peak of emotions, if you are able to disassociate yourself from the emotion, then you will add one more string of time to your soul. All the Mathans nodded. Lord Hanuman further said, "Now imagine about Patal Loka. When I went to Patala, I did not see anything abnormal about the world. It looked like a normal world like ours. Oh Mathans, just think and tell. If Patala is deep inside our earth, it should be dark and suffocating in there. Why didn't I feel so? Can you tell me, can anybody tell me why?
Because he converted into Patala Loka being.
He did not convert. His soul entered the being.
Right, his soul entered.
That is what it is, right? Lord Hanuman's soul entered into a Patala body, a body of one of the beings in Patala. And through the eyes of Patala, everything is normal. You see a sky just like this. Even though that Patala exists deep inside the core of the earth, they are able to see a sky just like this. For somebody who's on the loka above us, which is a Vyahriti loka, they will wonder the same. Why is it that people on Bhuloka, which is our loka, we should be suffocating? But we see a sky just like them above us. They see a sky just like ours above them. And so on above and so on below. There are supposed to be infinite lokas above us, infinite lokas below us.
So, one question. For Patal, so Earth has a limited size, right?
It is a dimensional thing. It is multi-dimensional. So this, we are talking about a dimension. For example, where do ghosts exist? They are existing in a different dimension. They are not on this dimension where we exist. So these are multi-dimensions. To just give you this, to answer this question of yours, we will reserve it. The movie tomorrow that we will watch here will answer your question. It is about multi-dimensional reality where nuclear physicists, theoretical physicists, quantum mechanic physicists are not able to answer when they observe certain particles. They see that it disappears for a millisecond and then reappears. So where is it disappearing? Where is it appearing? And how is it coming back? Let us continue. Hotar Urmi replied, if I go into water with my human body, I will suffocate over there. But if I enter the body of a fish, I should feel nothing abnormal inside water. Similarly, my lord, your body did not go to Patala. Your soul entered in the body of a Patala creature and experienced Patala from that body. Lord Hanuman pointed towards the ground and said, see, we are located on a solid ground. So, even if everything is normal for Patala creatures from inside, they should at least see a solid roof on top of their world. I didn't see any roof. I saw open sky just like ours. Why so? Exactly your question, right? Urmi did not get any answer immediately. Lord Hanuman looked towards Urva. He looked at Baba Matang and turned down his head. Lord Hanuman insisted, Urva, Baba will not chide you if you speak in the puja hours. Do speak. Lord, I think for the creatures of Patala, we and our world are invisible. Urva stood up and said in a low voice, for a fish, water feels like an invisible gas. Similarly, for creatures of Patala, our solid matter feels like invisible gas. That is why they don't see any roof over their world. Lord Hanuman seemed to agree. He said, yes, but they are somehow aware of our world. They think that there is a thick invisible layer over the world in which some other creatures live. So Manav Loka is nothing but an invisible thick layer for them. Do you know why Ahi and Mahi, two brothers of Patala Loka, abducted Lord Rama and Lakshmana? Because Ravana used to enter in the body of Mahi. He instigated his brother to abduct Lord Rama. Brother is Lord Ahi. So Urva promptly replied, that is true. But do you know how Ravana instigated the creatures of Patala to abduct Lord Rama? Lord Hanuman told, through the body of Mahi, he told them a false story that the creatures of Manav Loka are going to attack Patala Loka. He made them believe that Lord Rama and Lakshmana are the leaders of the army which is going to launch an attack on Patala Loka. When they successfully abducted souls of Lord Rama and Lakshmana, they trapped them inside the two bodies of Patala. They called a seer. Seer is our wise man, right? He is known as a seer because he can see things. They called a seer who was skilled enough to talk to souls. Ahi said to the seer, "O seer, we have abducted two souls from Manavloka. As per the secret information, these two souls are leading an army which is going to attack Pataloka. Interrogate these souls and find out about their plans." The seer looked into the supreme soul of Lord Rama and asked, "O soul, who are you?" "I am Nala," replied Rama. Ravana, who was present in the body of Mahi, immediately said, "No, he is not Nala. He is Rama. He is lying." The seer said, "O Mahi, I am experienced enough to know whether a soul is expressing a lie or a truth. This soul is telling the truth. His name is Nala, not Rama." Mahi, who was abducted by Ravana's soul, right? Not abducted, but Ravana's soul had hijacked him. Mahi angrily said, "O seer, you are mistaken. He is Rama." In the above line, Setu's note says, Mahi Ravana denotes Mahi's body plus Ravana's soul. Do not read it as Mahi Ravana. Name of the Patala creature was only Mahi and not Mahi Ravana. The seer looked in the eyes of Mahi and said, "This soul is indeed Nala, but I doubt whether your soul is Mahi's soul." He immediately knew that there was another soul in Mahi's body, and it is doubting my knowledge. Ravana, who was there in Mahi's soul, got frightened. He immediately went out of the hall in anger. Ahi's intervention saved him from seer's attention. Ahi said, "O seer, we have nothing to do with their name. Please find out their plans. Please find out whether there is an army right now." Right now? The seer asked. Right now? Our right now or their right now? See, the seer also knows that there are two different time belts. So Bhuloka is on one time belt and the Pataloka is on a different time belt. So many people know about this. The wise men know about this. He got, the seer asked, our right now or their right now? Because our time and their time is not common. He got confused. He said to the seer, "O seer, in time and O seer, in Pataloka, you are the minister of Manavloka affairs. I am told that your department has gained significant knowledge about Manavloka. I have also heard that you have prepared weapons which can affect Manavloka significantly." The seer replied, "Manavloka is completely invisible for us, but we have managed to study their world by way of soul reading. We have found that from our world, we can only see and affect their past, not their present." I remember what I told you, right? How it affects. So there is Manavloka here, there is Pataloka here. From when we see into Pataloka, there is an arrow. I mean, think of the time belt like this. We can see like this, which means that our present is their past. So when they see us like this, which means their present is our past. Understood, right?
So, then why did Rama say, "I am Nala"?
Very good question. Oh my God, super brilliant question. Let us wait. Lord Hanuman will answer this question for us. So the Manavloka is completely invisible for us, but we have managed to study their world by way of soul reading. We have found out that from our world we can see and affect their past, not their present. For example, these two abducted souls are here in this hall right now, but we can only interact with their past, not their present. He said, I do not have patience to study your findings, O seer. Please interact with these souls as per your knowledge and find out a way to stop their army from attacking us. The seer turned to the supreme soul of Lord Rama and asked, O soul, who are you? I am Nala, a form of Vishwakarma. I can see myself digging the base of the sea. I can see myself tearing apart the sea. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I will do that. The reply came. This had happened in the past, before the war, right? Few moments later, Lord Rama looked in the eyes of the seer and loudly said, balls of fire. The seer got spooked. He turned away from Lord Rama suddenly. He asked, what happened, O seer? Did you see anything untoward? No, nothing untoward. He recognized that I was sneaking into his soul. The seer replied in fearful voice. Did you realize what happened? Did you realize what had happened? Let me read it again. The seer of Patal Loka was watching Nala in Manav Loka through the eyes of the crocodile. Please note the illusion of time over here. The Lanka war had already started in Manav Loka when Lord Rama and Lakshmana got abducted from Patala. But the people of Patala are in contact with our past and not the present. Hence, the seer of Patala was seeing that the army of Vanara had not crossed the sea yet. Nala was surveying the sea to build the bridge. Do you understand now what had happened?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try and explain to you in a very illustrative manner. Wish I could whiteboard again. So this is the point of where Rama and Lakshmana's soul go to sleep, and Ravana abducts Lakshmana and Rama's souls. When he takes them to Patala, he takes them like this. Right? Here, this incident is happening where they are saying that, they are coming to attack us. Ahi is saying that there is an army which is waiting to attack us. So when they go up to see, they are in the past. Here the bridge has not been built.
Yeah.
And here Nala says that I am going to tear apart the sea and I am going to go to the bottom of the sea and I will rip apart the sea. This is what the seer sees that Nala is saying. Okay, so he comes back. This is their present, and and that's when he says, yes, they are going to do something like that. Okay, then Lord Hanuman brings them back here in the correct coordinates of time. He doesn't go like this. He comes back in the correct coordinates of time. Do you understand now? Everybody understood now. Fantastic. If you have understood, then it is Lord Hanuman's blessings on us that you have understood it. So, the Lanka war had already started in Manav Loka when Lord Rama and Lakshmana had got abducted from Patala. But people of Patala are in contact with our past and not present. Hence, the seer of Patal Loka was seeing that army of Vanaras had not crossed the sea yet. Nala was surveying the sea to build the bridge. From whatever he could see, the seer opined, "Oh Ahi, then this Nala seems to be the head of the army which is going to attack us. I heard him saying something about tearing apart. As you know, Manav Loka is an invisible thick layer above our Loka. Probably he was talking about tearing apart that layer to attack us. I have tracked the movement of this soul. I can draw a probable line on the map of Manav Loka from where they are planning to tear apart their layer. We can place reinforcements along that line in order to make this layer of Manav Loka strong from there, so that they fail to tear it apart. That is how we can stop them from attacking us." So, how did he draw the map? If you remember, Hanuman and Nala were on the boat, and they were going along a path. So that path was going towards Lanka. So he tracked him and he said, "Okay, that is the path towards Lanka. Let us reinforce that path."
Is this how the bridge came into?
We will read that. I know your excitement to understand. So, as you know, Manav Loka is a thick, invisible Loka above our layer. Probably he was talking about tearing apart that layer to attack us. I have tracked the movement of the soul. We can place reinforcements along that line in order to make the layer of Manav Loka strong from there so that they fail to tear it apart. This is how we will stop them from attacking. Excellent. And he congratulated the seer for the breakthrough. He then ordered, "Oh seer, please draw the map right away. We will prepare to launch the reinforcements right away." O Mathangs, the enforcement sent thus by Patala creatures formed the ridge in the sea. So this is the secret of that ridge. Lord Hanuman concluded. Yajman Charita's soul was feeling enlightened now. She was eligible for Arpanam. Baba Mathan stood up to start the ritual of Arpanam, but Lord Hanuman noticed that Urva wanted to ask something. He said, "Urva, do not be afraid to voice your query. Stand up and speak." Urva stood up and asked, "Oh Lord, I was thinking, Lord Rama's soul was abducted to Patala. Then why did he introduce himself as Nala in front of the Patala seer? Wasn't that a lie? A lie from the Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram himself? Pardon me if I have asked something wrong." Lord Hanuman smiled and replied, "It was not Lord Ram, it was his supreme soul in Patala. His soul is supreme. All other souls are just a subset of his soul. He can manifest himself in any form he wants. In Patala, he manifested himself as Nala. Now that I have told you the secret of Ramsetu, you know why he did so." It was not Lord Rama there, it was his soul there. His soul is is Nala's soul as well, because we are all a part of his soul. We are all Jivatmas, which is permanently a part of the Paramatma. He is himself the Paramatma. So if he says that I am soul Anil, is that wrong?
So he said just to avoid fight with that Ahi and Mahi, right? If he would have said I am Rama, then they would have captured. They would not have allowed him to leave that Patal.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And also this trick of Nala being the head of the army and then rebuilding the bridge, and then to in order to inflict this
Correct.
trick, he said that he is
Not only that, imagine if he had said I am soul, I am Rama, then it means he would have had to undertake one more war in Patal Loka and defeat everybody there. That is what the myth says, right? That is what our stories say. Ahiravan ki bhuja ukhade. Lord Hanuman reached there, he defeated, he destroyed the whole of Patal Loka to bring back Lord Rama and Lakshmana. That never happened. Lord Rama successfully avoided any conflict. He was intelligent enough. He is supreme intelligence.
And one more thing, that because if you see, war had already started.
Yeah.
When Ram and Lakshman were abducted to Patal.
The war had almost ended. Now it was the last leg of the war where Lord Rama and Ravana had to fight. So it had almost ended there.
Ended, right? And then when they were abducted to Patal Loka, and at that time this incident happened, right? Where that crocodile saw Nala saying that I will destroy Patal Loka. He came, and then at that time Rama and Lakshmana were there, but then they were released. And he said that Nala is going to attack, and then they created a layer.
A big wall on this thing, yes.
Right. But the thing is, at that time, the war had already begun. Then what was the point of that bridge at that time? Because
The war had
begun.
no.
They had already crossed, right?
No. You're okay. Let me explain this again. You've got the timelines wrong. See, the war was in the future. Okay. If I change my past, please understand this, that, okay, very good question. Now let me try and put everything in perspective. For the war to have ended, which means that the Vanaras, the bridge was already there and they have already crossed. Correct? But things happened in the past. Okay, how did things happen in the past? Right? So your question I understand. Do you understand his question?
I got confused. I understood the thing.
Now the whole thing is confused.
Now for the whole thing I got confused.
Okay. Okay.
Let me
multi-dimensional thing that happened.
According to me, the war had started, but the bridge was not built.
Because the
See, war would not have started if Rama had not crossed and reached Lanka.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, okay.
But this is what he is going to reveal.
See, you have to understand timelines. Understand it sequentially how it happened. Sequentially, it happened such that Lord Rama is there. That is the sequence where they wanted to cross the bridge. The bridge wasn't built, right? So then they saw that entire balls of fire and everything. And the next morning when they come, the bridge was there. The ridge was there. The ridge became a bridge when all of them started constructing it. Okay, then they went ahead and fought. Okay, but the thing is that it happened. The past was impacted because of a future event. So for us in Manav Loka, everything happened sequentially. Okay, think about it as Manav Loka's timeline. That everything happened sequentially, correct? They were abducted and everything happened sequentially. But what happened over there? It directly, there was no timeline gap. It happened directly. Whatever happened in the future at that particular incident directly impacted the past. So this was a loop. So the past coming into the future coming back into the past happened at the same time. Do you understand this? It was a part of the same, it happened at the same time. There was no time gap. There was no time gap between the future and the past and the present. It all happened at the same time, which means the night on which the bridge was built was the night on which their souls were abducted. It was happening at the same time. There was no gap between us. The only reason why we are, one second, ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಚೈನ್ ಇಂದ ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲಾಕ್ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಈ ವೈಟ್ ಲಾಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ. Okay, so now you understood, right? It happened at the same time, sir. For us, everything is happening sequentially. For Patal Loka, it was the past. So this is the past of what is happening is also happened in the future. So how do I explain this? Understand this in this way. Understand it in this way. Let us thank the pujaris for their cooperation and support. Because of their support, this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much, sir. So what I am saying is that, see, the past of Patal Loka, the present of Patal Loka, the present of Manav Loka, and the future of Manav Loka happened at the same time. Everything was this. There was no time zone difference. There was no time lapse. It all happened at the same time. Whereas we are seeing it in a sequential way. That pehla aise hua, then the war happened, then this abduction happened, then this was built. But for somebody who has understood this entire thing, everything happened at the same time. Yeah.
Just one follow-up question. So when Lord Ram manifested in
Speak a little louder.
So when Lord Ram manifested in Nala, he introduced them that I am Nala, I am the head of this army, I'll destroy the page. So this was done so that they will make that reach and they will get under the fear of situation that okay, we are under attack and we need to do this.
Correct.
Lord Ram, it was like a Maya that he did to make sure that they build this bridge.
Correct.
Had he introduced himself not as Nala, then they would not have done that.
Correct.
And Nala said that I am the one who will break the sea, will make this bridge.
Correct.
जब ये नीचे हो रहा था, जब राम ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया, that time only that Nala has on the boat and in the present.
Correct.
वो present में वो बोल रहा था.
हाँ.
तो ये सामने वालों को लगता है कि वही है जो अटैक करने वाला है. तो उसकी वजह से इन लोगों ने
Correct. So now you understood, right? So it is very important to understand this concept, because what this says is that whatever is happening in the future, the Supreme Lord's plans, once we pray, so you might have heard about relative change and absolute change. Absolute change happens when everything around us also changes in the same way. Relative change happens when only that portion changes, nothing else changes. Correct? So that is the reason why we have to understand that all this Maya that is happening, if we are praying to the Lord, there are times where your past itself can change. So what you are at a present, okay, could be such that it could be such that you would have probably faced a worse circumstance, but it has happened in such way because of your attachment, I shouldn't say attachment, your faith and devotion to the Lord, that He has gone and changed your past, and that in front of everybody's eyes, so that accident never happened. That is what He did with Sudama as well. Everybody recognized Sudama as his childhood friend, whereas it was never there. There is another incident of Sudama. You should. I don't think it is there in YouTube. We will read that as well. So let us now continue this. Now that I have told you the secret of Ramsetu, you know why he did so. Urva's mind seemed satisfied now. Now Votar Urmi got courage to ask a question. She said, "O Lord, the knowledge of Patala's seer about our world was so weak, he couldn't even realize that there was no plan to attack Patala." Lord Hanuman raised his hand towards the sky and said, "There is an invisible world on top of our world too. How much do you know about that world?" At least they know so much about our world. How much do we know about the world on top? Zero, right? No more questions came up in the assembly. Baba Mathang walked to the altar where Yajman Charita's basket of fruits were kept and started the ritual of the Arpanam. Special note from Setu's masters. If we compare these chapters of Lord Hanuman's Leelas with the ancient Hindu scriptures, one thing becomes very clear. The ancient scriptures, be it Mahabharata, Ramayana, Vedas or Upanishads, as they are available today, are not in their original form. They have been extremely misinterpreted and deformed many times. For example, the transcendental knowledge, which is very difficult to grasp, has been replaced with easy to understand theories like boon, curse, etc. After centuries of ignorance, humanity is finally getting the original transcendental knowledge by the grace of Lord Hanuman. Our generation is indeed very blessed. Okay, there is another explanation edit. It says, as expected, some devotees are not able to understand the illusion of time. All of them are doing the same mistake. They are trying to imagine Patala and Bhuloka side by side and comparing it like apples and oranges. See, first of all, you must choose the place from which you want to watch or understand the world. You are not independent. You are either in Patala or in Bhuloka. We are in upper world for the Patala. We are the Vyaharati world for Pataloka. Therefore, when we see from Bhuloka, we see the future of Patala. So, you understand this, right? Again, let me draw the same parallels. So this is, okay, let this watch become my present of Patala, of Bhuloka.
Okay.
This is the belt of Pataloka. So if I have to go to the present of Pataloka, how should I travel? I should travel like this, which will become their past. Which will become their present. So the present of our Loka, for us to interact with the present of Patal Loka, travels like this, like in the past.
Back in time.
So if I directly travel like this downwards, what will happen? It will become their future, right?
Yeah.
So the correct coordinates of time are to move back in time, and our future becomes their past, or rather our present becomes their past. And our present, if we travel straight down, becomes their future. Similarly, imagine this is Bhuloka and this is Vyahriti Loka. The same line continues like this. Okay, so this is Bhuloka. If we go, if we have to interact with the present of Vyahriti Loka, it has to go like this, right? So from for them, if this is their present, they have to come back like this to see the present of our Manav Loka. If they travel like this, it will become the future of our Loka. It's the same comparison. So if somebody from the future comes, then it will probably be from Vyahriti Loka to our Loka. And if he drops straight down, of course there are many ways. From Vyahriti Loka to Manav Loka, there are many ways. He can come to the future or he can come to our present. So this is the secret of time travel.
So I have one question, like the future which they are going, let's say the Vyahriti Loka, one of the guys coming on the straight line, and that guy is going to be present in our future.
Yeah.
So that future will be the static one, or the future will keep remaining changing by each of the action of the human nature which is present in the present of like our dimension.
So don't look at it in terms of actions, look at it in terms of simple time. So for example, if it is there 2023, okay, and he drops to our time zone, no, he will drop to our 2050. He will, if he has to drop to get to the correct coordinates of 2023, okay, July 1st he has to come like this. If he drops like this, then he will probably drop to 2030. I'm just giving you an example.
Why I said this question is because Lord Rama have already begun the war, and the Ravana have accepted the Lord Rama's war. So if we consider this scenario, then the future is the static thing, that the future in which the Rama's soul was get abducted due to by the Ravan, that needs to be happened to perform to create this bridge.
Yes.
Otherwise, the souls are not going to be abducted, then this bridge will not come up.
Correct.
So this needs to be the static thing. Let's say if the free will of someone is going to come up in the picture, and one decision will, like, let's say if one of the decision is not going to lead towards the future, then the bridge will not come up ever.
It is, you're right. See, the thing is that is why it is called Leelas of the Lord, right? He already, that's why if you have been understanding this entire series of talks, what does Lord Hanuman say? For someone like me who's outside the web of space and time, whatever has happened is happening and will happen is static. So Lord Rama, who knows all of it, if Lord Hanuman can see, Lord Rama can of course, being the supreme godhood, right? He can see everything. So that is why that entire Leela was done.
So do our karmas and desires are also going to be the same? We are not aware, like we are going to do this karma or we are going to get these desires. Are these desires which are coming inside our like daily life, which needs to be same if we are going towards the static future?
So that is also, it doesn't have to be the same, right? That's what Lord Hanuman is always saying, that there are 1,000 paths available, endless possibilities. Today, you have a free will right now, you can do so many things. You can just get up and walk out, you can continue to sit here, you can sit here and disturb everybody, you can sit here and not disturb anybody. So many infinite possibilities. So in the movie tomorrow, we will understand this even clearer. That at any given point of time, a free will of a soul has infinite possibilities in front of him. What we choose to do is our illusion that it is our free will. And no matter which way we go, there are certain emotions that we have to experience, which we will experience no matter which path we take. There are certain circumstances that have to be faced. Let's say your soul now deserves sadness. Just giving you an example. No matter which path you take, you will get sadness on that path. Because your karma is not in such a way that you can overcome that sadness. You have to build that karma. What do you deserve? What does your soul deserve now? Remember that chapter in which Lord Indra looks at the soul of, I think it was who's this thing? There was one more chapter where Indra looks at him and he knows now, and he says, "Yeah, let me see what your soul deserves."
Vaiba weeping mango and then chariot.
No. So in karma desire fulfillment, he will see Lord Indra is the one who is responsible for giving out. But we are digressing. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
So we are completely digressing from this. Let me just finish this. As expected, basically that's what is happening. They are saying that you should keep a point of reference. You will see that okay, suppose you have a machine through which you can see Patala. Imagine that you are on the beach when Nala has gone down to survey the sea. What will you see in Patala? You will see that Lord Rama and Lakshmana's souls are there and the seer is interrogating them. Now suppose that you are in Patala and you have a machine that you can see Bhuloka. Imagine that you are in the hall where the seer is interrogating the souls of Lord Rama and Lakshmana. If you see Bhuloka from there through your machine, what will you see? You will see that Nala is surveying the sea. So first you have to decide what is your observation point. If you choose an observation point for yourself, which is neither in Patala nor in Bhuloka, then it is some third world. So you must know the time relationship of that third world with Bhuloka and Patala, and then you have to factor in that relationship to understand Bhuloka and Patala. So this is a very, very intriguing chapter. It requires us to, it is not a very simple chapter to understand. If you go back and think about what has been told and watch this video again, you will have 100 doubts again. It is not very simple. But we are here to clarify, clear. Lord Hanuman is here to guide us. No matter what questions we get, we will come back with clarity. And sometimes he has always said that the journey to get to those answers is more important than getting those answers. But do not be, you have the tendency to get lost in over-intellectualizing and being lost in the questions itself. First, I sent you that video, right, of understanding what is in the present. Awareness is what we should be looking at in the present. Then we will get everything else. The answers will reveal themselves. But first thing is to have awareness of our emotions, of our circumstances, and how this universe is constructed. So the reason why this chapter is there also is because to show that everything that we know about our scriptures, all that we have heard in Mahabharata, Ramayana, Vedas and Upanishads have all been distorted. That is the real thing. So we have not understood it. Now imagine we, having understood so much, are struggling to understand again. We have understood, decently I feel. But if you go and think about it, it will again give rise to a few questions. So in order to simplify and simplify and simplify, we have lost the essence itself. If we are struggling to understand, then it is better. But if we have lost the struggle and we have said, yes, they went to Patala, then they wrote Srirama on the bricks and they threw it in water and the bricks floated, that's not the right way to understand it.
These distortions are due to us, or it has been introduced gradually?
In order to
How
make us
many
understand.
tens of thousands of years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it is not us. Basically, you have seen that corporate training where one fellow will tell something and then it will go on. So imagine just 10 people will have a different message. Imagine tens of thousands of years ago. There is so much of non-clarity about which era Ramayana happened. For Mahabharata, we know it happened at this time. Lord Krishna was born at this time. The Mahabharata war happened at this time. All of that we know because it was just 5,000 years ago. But in which was 3,000 year BC.
And mostly
But-
we used to tell it with the mouth, right? It was not
Yeah,
written.
correct.
So once
Everything.
you got it, the written script,
Yeah, and even the written things have been lost.
Yeah, yeah.
So the distortions. So now we are understanding through Lord Hanuman himself the history. Why are we understanding? Because once this knowledge comes to us, we have to see how to apply it in our real lives, on our everyday lives. Right? Okay, with this we will close the chapter and thank Lord Hanuman and disperse for the day.